Let me add myself to the stage, okay? And I'm sitting here in my home, but the issue for me is that as we're making room for faith and people are doing work and people are trying to live the best version of themselves, it is super hard for specifically Black women to be doing the work, minding our business, drinking our water, trying to stay in the AC during the summer. You feel me? We're going to the gym like me, trying to get, trying to be the best, to be a better representation of who we are. And look, enough is enough. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this ignorant conversation about how Black women are in comparison to other people. Because at the end of the day, we all are coming into spaces with some level of trauma, dysfunction, or healing that has to be done. That is not just specific to one race. And this constant conversation that seems to be going on about whenever an African American, a Black man is asked why he does not date Black women, this probably is what a lot of people, a lot of women, Black women hear more often than not. And the issue with what he said is he said it with such conviction and with such certainty and with such assuredness. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring it up, and then we will, and then I'm going to give you my take on, my further take on what he said. Now, what's interesting is that as I was setting up this live, he has already issued an apology. But baby, baby, don't even play with us. We are not the ones to be played with. So I will also play his apology, and I'm gonna ask y'all if y'all accept it. But what I want to say too is that my audio on my desktop for some reason stopped working. So I have the post here from the Shade Room. So let me just pull up my audio here on my phone so that we can hear it. It'll Just give me a second. I hope everybody's having a great day. And then I was like, why would you put this out right, 4th of July? People just want to have a great time. And we're going to have a great time regardless. But it's just like, it's weird. Like, don't do us. Don't do us. So, all right. Let me turn up my volume.
Because Columbus has a beautiful wife. She's Armenian. She's freaking gorgeous, drop dead, and sweet, pure energy as well. And so I just being with. I'm putting you on a serious blast right now, and I know it's going to be crazy. Do you feel like in the media today, there's a lot of demasculating of Black men?
Absolutely. Okay. We're going to get there.
We're
jumping my time machine. We're about to jump in the DeLorean and gun it to 88. Okay. So we just went through 1886. Now we're in 1921 or 1916, where you're seeing these people remove. Then now let's get to the 50s, where the 60s, the 70s, where now crack is brought in. How many Black men in New York, from Oakland to New York and everywhere in between, men were not in the home. So now,
what is the difference between being with a woman? Because
we come to the 2000s, and these women, or Black women, were raised by single mothers, absentee fathers that are either incarcerated, dead, or just gone.
Talk about
that their mama said, you don't need no man. You can do it by yourself. So that energy,
this is giving me chills.
That energy comes into the home. They're not, what you talking about? Unless you giving me this, doing that. There's no respect of the man, the Black man, in that by Black women. And I'm not, Black women, do not be mad at me.
They're gonna be mad.
I'm not talking about all of y'all. I'm saying
they're gonna be mad.
There's a majority of you guys that was raised without a father,
Now,
so you have no respect for that. So, what's the difference?
okay.
Okay.
Basically, I know these people,
Ooh,
and they're gonna drag.
We come to the 2000s.
All right, so let me just say this. All right, so what Columbus Short is saying is okay. I'm finding it. I'm finding it. All right, so I'm a single mother. I raised both of my daughters by myself. Um, I was married and I am divorced. It is this assumption, this presumption that if you have been raised by a single mother as as a black young woman, that somehow or another you have this shield or this armor, and because there was not a man in the household, you somehow don't possess the ability to respect the black man within your space. It is probably, and then he did make this statement in a way where it sounded like he was talking to all black women. And then he says, black women, don't be mad at me. This is the thing. First of all, it's disrespectful to those single mothers. And let me just say this too. For real, there are also hats off to a lot of men who are raising children on their own. There are a good number of single fathers out here raising children on their own as well. So then for Columbus Short to then say, and then mimic the mannerisms that he thinks a black woman with no black man in the household to help raise her, that she's like, oh, if you ain't giving me this and if you ain't doing this for me, then you can get it. That let me be very, very clear about something. Capitalism has put us in a chokehold. Okay, society has put us in a chokehold. Okay, so the thing is that the black woman has stood in protest. The black woman has held men's heads to their bosoms when they didn't know what they were going to do, lost their job, you know, in the criminal justice system, lost a loved one, unsure, whatever. Whenever black men have needed that extra level of assuredness, we've been there, inclusive of single black women who have raised sons on their own. This mocking, this projection of what he thinks an angry black woman sounds and looks like is to me so antiquated and out of date is ridiculous. And can I also say, and then I'll get back to the recording, but what I also will say is let's not play games. Let's not play games. The over sexualization of black girls and black women is at an all time high. When I saw Normani's dopamine cover, I was frustrated because Normani is too talented of an artist, regardless of race. She is too talented of an artist for them to have her like that on the rocket or whatever. Normani to me doesn't have to sell sex. Like, so the over sexualization of young black girls and women is at an all time high. What do I bring that up? Because when he's talking about the black woman saying, well, if you're not giving me this and you're not doing this, then that, and the third, for real, men also use what they have to attract the women that they want. So for real, like we see this on TV all the time, or we see this out in our own lifestyles all the time. A dude wants to get the car, the clothes, the jewelry, practice the swag, get the right team around him, be in the right crowd, be with the right people. Why? Because he wants an elevation of social status, an elevation of respect, an elevation of lifestyle, so that then he can attract the woman who is going to be impressed by that lifestyle. So for him to make it seem as if we black women And he was speaking overall, all black women are gold diggers, are always looking for something. He is flat out wrong for that, because for real, it is what men have that they then use as bait to then pull in the women that they want, period. So he is wrong for that. So I'm gonna get to the rest.
I'm down.
And me.
I'm down.
And me.
I've already been dragged.
So I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this though. Because this is what they'll say.
I'm about to get dragged.
No, you're not. But you will. On my platform, I'm going to see the comments, boy. But let me say this, though. I get dragged every day. It's okay. Now, what I will say is they're about to tell me I'm trying to be white because my hair is blonde in a minute. So, but I'm going to say this because this is what the black woman will say. Don't you blame the man, though, for being an absent father? They made black women this way. That's what they're going to say. So I want you to answer that.
Let me talk about it being a man. I'm going to answer all your questions. Okay. So let me talk about being a man. Our black men, find ourselves in being able to provide and being able to protect. When we are denied the ability to provide, we feel less than. When we are denied the ability to protect, do you know what they used to do? They used to make families. Sorry, we're gonna go deep. I'm down.
Okay, so let me just say this real quick about the host too. She does reveal later on in another snippet that she is Persian. There was such, and she was like, I'm getting chills, and she's snapping her fingers, talking about facts and all of this. The issue is that we have so many individuals speaking for us. We have so many individuals rocking in the space of what they assume that the overall population of black women are like, that then they sit and they think that now you become the expert on our experiences. And see, really, for real, and I was sitting here and I was thinking about the way I was delivering this. It's like, well, dang, am I? But this is the thing. We are passionate. And once you start to talk, because when this triggered me, because I thought about my young, beautiful black daughters who are out here, navigating this world and trying to be good people and get it reciprocated. And you actually think that you're about to educate or give black men an out for not being there for their families, or he's saying here being denied the opportunity to provide for their families. Look, let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know in my circle of too many individuals who are not going to give their man the grace and the bandwidth to figure it out, right? The young girls that my daughters hang with right now, they're like, these young girls, all of them are amazing. They love their men down, okay? My daughter loves her partner down, okay? In other words, she holds her partner down. Look, these young women out here, they are willing to hold their men down. But it comes a time and a place where I'm tired of walking into the house and you haven't done anything. That's that's a situational thing, because that's not specific to the black relationship experience. That is overall. I don't care who you are, what race you are. So this thing about not being able to lead and being denied the opportunity to lead, sometimes that comes from frustration. That comes from I'm fed up. That comes from me being in the 6th month of holding you down, or gosh forbid, the 4th year, the 5th year, the 6th year of you supposedly holding me down, and yet we're still nowhere. I'm tired, right? I'm tired. And the other thing too is that a person can provide and not be emotionally available, not be ready to get married, not be ready to be the father figure, right? Not be the person who is going to be the leader of the home. And leadership does not come just from you being the man. It just doesn't. And I say that too from a faith perspective, because when you take your time and you connect with the man that God has assigned you, you'll know that that man is for you and you will let him lead. you will understand that that man has to lead your household. This is not about letting anybody come in and lead your house and run it into the ground, especially if that individual cannot provide for the household. So look, I won't get into deep hold on that. Okay, so let's go on. I'm sorry, y'all.
Take the man and have him being violated in front of the wife, the kids, by another man, and then thrown back into the family. And what is that woman? If you can't protect yourself from them men, how are we supposed to trust you how to protect us? So that started this. Now let's get to it. What is it about? There's cultural things. You're Persian. Yeah. So that Persian side, that Armenian side, that Mexican side, that Asian, Korean, Japanese, that other side is where, culturally those women were not those women were taught to hold down
and be very subservient and submissive to their men.
But it's more than subservience. It's don't get it twisted. I know you know how to cuss a thorough man, cuss a man out thoroughly, but as soon as you cussing him, take the man and have him being. You still making dinner, you still washing his clothes, you still cleaning the house, and you're not doing that with, this is my job. That's just what you were trained to do. And I think that kind of training, how you want to ride in a Bugatti, how you want to go on a yacht, but you don't know how to wash your own clothes. You don't know how to vacuum. You don't know how to you don't know how to cook, girl. You don't even know how to cook. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's all black women. Ooh, I'm just saying let's get down to it. Ooh, I'm in trouble.
We are about to be in trouble.
You still making dinner, you still washing his clothes, you still cleaning the house. And you're not doing that with, this is my job. That's just what you were trained to do. And I think that kind of training, how you want to ride in a Bugatti, how you want to go on a yacht, but you don't know how to wash your own clothes. You don't know how to vacuum. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Boo, boo, boo. Hey, who gonna put the money on your books? I'll put your money on. No, you can go to jail. Take your black dress motherfucker for you. So how it's a different energy. It's not like maybe thank you for your criticism. Thank you for your honest, constructive criticism. And we can get it better. Or cook it for yourself. Yeah. You want a cup of noodles? You want some ramen? Somebody else come cook the ramen you want. You know what I'm saying? Boo, boo, boo. Hey, who gonna put the money on your books?
So what is I think most disturbing about even this conversation is that Columbus Short is sitting across from a woman who is not African American, who is not black, and he's continually just to feed into her response about a conversation about black women, and she is just eating it up. She's just eating it up. The other issue that I have is that first and foremost, training, right? So this is what's interesting about that, right? So, the black woman should be trained to cook, clean, take care of the house, and put money on your books. So, what I want to ask is then what training did the black man receive that she's got to put money on somebody's books? So basically, in my perception, what you're saying, Columbus Short, is that the man is faulty, the black man is faulty, and he's gonna make mistakes. However.com period semicolon. The black woman is expected to hold space, be there regardless of what he does, what he doesn't do, because we're looking at what you need to be doing and the training that you should have received versus the man that I should be in the household. And I will say this too, that sometimes people will say, I am showing up, I am doing this, and I am trying. But what you also have to understand is that your version, the man's version of showing up, or the woman's version of showing up, may not be what that other person needs. Let me just give an example. Look, let's say you have someone, let's say that you're a black woman and you're in a relationship with a black man. And the only reason I'm using this race is because this is what the top context of his conversation was about. And let's say that, Dude says, I'm trying to find a job. I'm trying to find a job. I'm looking for a job. Right? I'm trying. I've been trying. And you leave in the morning, you leave for work in the morning, he's chilling. You leaving out at 7:30 to get to work, he's still in bed. Gets up at 10, you know, may go ahead and holler at some friends, etc. Comes home a little bit later, throws up a couple of applications on Indeed.com, and then starts on the video games. And that's what he does for the rest of the day. Now, look, for him, he feels like he's trying. He feels like because he's doing a couple of applications online, and then the rest of the day he chilling with his friends and playing video games. Girl, what you tripping about? I'm trying, right? But to that woman who gets up at 6:15 to be out the door by 7:30, who's having to deal with deal with a workplace that may not be the best, having to deal with a supervisor that may not be the best, maybe having to deal with a commute that she is tired as heck from, and all these other things that happen, the bills, the economy, the stress maybe of a family member or a friend. And that's what his day is composed of. And so the thing is that you may show up as a black man in that scenario, but it may not be what she needs. So I think that we can be forgiving, and that's vice versa. It's some men who are doing the same thing, and there's a woman out there, that just don't seem to get it. So let me go ahead and play his apology. Child. Okay. Anyway.
A lot of comments about a podcast I did last Friday, and I realized that I seriously offended my black women
No, you knew you
in a
were
way that
offending
was not
black women when
intended.
you
I think
said what
that
you
clip was
said.
taken out of context. I know that was clickbait because the full answer to the question, which was, why are black men dating outside of their race, marrying outside of their race, and my answer was lengthy, but that clip was sizzling, I guess, and should have been smarter and not falling into those traps. But the real answer was I was talking about the new generation and social media and the entitlement and how, being raised by a single black woman, as millions of us others were, and having, the absentee father, the absence of a father in a home, forced black moms to teach us something this morning. I woke up to
So, in his apology, he's talking about this new generation. This new generation is different. They're different. They look at life different. And really, this new generation is all about social media. They are all about putting their lifestyles on Front Street. These young gentlemen, these young black men, they are all about, look, they are not like I was. In other words, me and my daughters had this conversation, and I've shared it before. My younger daughter is all about self care. I said, girl, if you have one more wig coming here through DHL, I'm going to scream. But what I realized about my youngest daughter is that she takes care of herself. She works hard, so she does what she wants to for herself. I was raised in an era where I saw my mom struggle, where I saw my mom working two jobs to pay bills, where it was all about getting for your kids first and then taking care of yourself. Well, guess what? My daughter doesn't have any kids, so why shouldn't she spoil herself? Why shouldn't she take care of herself? She doesn't have any children, so she should do that. So this thought for me, as we sit up here and we struggle and we don't do for ourselves so we can do for our kids. Well, she doesn't have any kids. So this new generation, there's nothing wrong with the new generation. I know I was one of those folks that would say, "Man, these young kids." No, this is the world that we are living in today. The same way we used to listen to Uncle Luke, and we were wearing the oh my goodness, the shorts. but they used to call them something. I cannot remember. But they were the short shorts, baby, and they were cute. Okay. And they were coming all kind of sets and more Reese's. Don't play. Y'all, if y'all know my Reese's, then y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm aging myself, but I'm just saying. Okay. And that's what I mean, we love salt and pepper, the hairstyle. So guess what? Let these kids do what they're doing. These young girls are not, these young girls, him trying to equate these young girls saying, "What can you do for me?" as them being raised by a single mother is a fallacy and is fake news, because actually these young ladies are doing the work. Now, yes, there is a group that's just like, you do what you can do for me. And I get what he's saying, but I don't think that that's just young black. I don't think that's just black women, though. So for him to couple that and make it seem like only black women or even women are out here trying to get what they can get, that is, he was wrong for that. That is a false narrative that is not just to the black woman. Everybody out here trying to get how they live. Everybody's out here trying to get it. That's why Make Room for Faith is all about us becoming better people, right? So that we can find our mate, so that we can find the right person for us. So no, sir, you talking and you ain't saying nothing, but go home.
Women and a young man, be independent. You don't need a man. Do it. You can do it on your own. Which then, as us being grown now, black men only knowing how to provide and protect, and when that's removed, kind of finding our space and what that means for us, it was deeper than that answer. And I am truly sorry if that offended anybody. You know, I wish it was taken in context, but my opinion is not always necessary.
So my thing is this, right? My thing is that he's saying that it was taken out of context. And look, whatever, whatever, child. But what we saw, regardless of how the question was initiated, there was a level of what he said was basically second nature to him. It rolled off. He acted as if it was, it, like he really was, I feel like, doubling down on the tropes that are always pushed out there about black women. And when black women are so much more nuanced than that. These young ladies out here right now are killing the game. They are getting to their bags. They are living their best lives. They are going on girlfriend trips. They are seeking promotions. They are seeking better jobs, or they're seeking to work for themselves. They are taking care of their men, and they are letting their men lead. And whether they were raised by a single mother or not, these young black women are out here doing it. Okay. And a lot of them are healing. A lot of them are going on the journey to say, you know what? Just because that's what always was, it's not now. I mean, obviously, he does not read the shade room comments, baby, because the younger generation will get in here and read OGs for filth if it's something they don't agree with. And sometimes I'm like, okay, not too much. But at the same time, I love the fact that they are comfortable enough to be able to express themselves, and I'm proud that they are able to express themselves freely. So Columbus Short's apology is, he says it was taken out of context, but even within the out of context, what he said was absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to read some of the shade room comments, and y'all. So one says, "Let this be the 'we are sick of this conversation' button." This person said, "It's a black woman's attitude that makes her unapproachable." No, wrong. She is not unapproachable. She just sees through lies, games, and BS. She doesn't have attitude. She just speaks her mind and won't submit to a weak man just so weak man, I think, just to satisfy him, attracted to black women. When non-black women ask these types of questions, cringing. Um, I'm trying. If black women were raised with single mothers and absent fathers, who raised black men? If black women are inadequate in some way because of this, wouldn't the men also be? So, in other words, if you're saying that black women are inadequate because they were raised by single black mothers, then wouldn't black men be inadequate because they were raised by single black mothers. Like, bro, this makes me uncomfortable. A black man sitting with a non-black woman discussing black women. This just they just want to validate each other's feelings, and this lady is eating it up. Why did she ask that? I swear black women live rent free in everyone's mind. It's given obsessed. And I'm just going to co sign with her, a useless conversation. So let me go to his apology and let's see what some of the comments said. And let's see. Like she said, she was like, date whoever you date, whatever woman you want, leave black women out of it. This individual said, this is why it's so heartbreaking to hear black men say that black women aren't loyal, don't take care of home, and are angry. You might want to sit down with your mom or the women in your family and ask when was the last time they put themselves first. Also, if you want other, go. But stop acting like we have not been the backbone for many generations of black men, including those that don't belong to us. And I mean the majority of black women, not just the ones you like. Breaking a woman down to just being a mom and wife catering to your every need is not all we are built for. Plus, the ones you marry don't always know how to cook either. We will be the backbone to a man who carries, who protects, who provides, and who allows us to rest in our femininity without question, and who doesn't get upset for being held accountable. We will love you to life. Stop acting like our bosom is not what you run back to when the world discards and vilifies you. We are so over this narrative. I, that's I mean, sis, sis just baby. I love that. Because I said that right. Um, I said that. And I agree. Your choice is your choice, but to demonize and get on a platform and talk so drastically negative and judgmental and antiquated and out of date with your description of a lot of single black women is absolutely irresponsible and absurd. And the apology, while you're saying it was taken out of context, the more she laughed and snapped and said, "Oh, I'm getting chills," the more you kept on doubling down and going in, Kalonda Short. Leave us alone. Leave my daughters alone. Like, for real, to be honest, it has not been the lack of a father or a black man in the household. It's for real what I've seen, just even in my daughter's interactions, is this been the piss poor behavior, accountability, and respect that my girls have received from black men that have them feeling some type of way. So now when the next dude comes up, they're really listening, they're paying attention, and at the first sight of something, they're like, okay, I'm out, depending on what it is. Because see, this is the thing. A black mother can raise a daughter, you don't need a man, whatever, whatever. But feelings are feelings and emotions are emotions. And young girls, our daughters will date. But hopefully what you're saying about not having this or not being able to lead when they want to lead, you can't lead if you are coming drunk every day. You can't lead if you're coming in the house every night high. You can't lead if every time you step in the door you get ready to whoop a child or put your hands on your lady. You can't lead if you don't come home because you so busy out there with your side. So it sounds like to me black women are understanding their worth just like every other woman is. Stop using us as a dumpster for the dysfunction that you're dealing with in your own self. And that doesn't mean that you date outside your race because you're dysfunctional. What it means is that you try to blame black women for something that you haven't dealt with. Okay? Because we're not mats. And we're not, you can't just keep stepping on over us and expect for us to continue to bend at the cost of our own peace, our own happiness, and our own personal and professional growth just because You want to be able to do it your way. Black women are not staying in the house like that, washing dishes and washing clothes and letting you just go and rip and run the streets and do whatever you want to. They've got goals, and a lot of them are doing it all. They're taking care of the household, cooking, taking care of kids, got a side business or a business plus they've got a 9 to 5. Quit playing. Don't, sir. Columbus, you need to sit down. I need you to go on. We need to talk with Ezekiel, yeah, or somebody, because you need to get yourself together. Because we're not buying this. All right, guys, I just had to come live for that because it is a mess, and I don't appreciate what he said, and I need him to stop rubbing that beard, and I need him to stop with it. Our young girls are out here trying their best to unpack a lot of trauma, a lot of hurt, a lot of disappointment, a lot of anxiety, not even mentioning what you have to deal with out here in the world. And so when it comes to them finding peace and balance and worth and finding their voice and being able to separate them from themselves from things that no longer serve them, for them being able to let go of relationships that no longer serve them, he's making it sound like if you actually say no, this is not working for me, that somehow or another your single black mother taught you wrong. Absolutely nonsense. And I hope that our women, I don't care what your age is, from 18 to 78, as long as you understand who you are and you know what you've done for yourself, you don't ever let anybody make you feel like you're doing too much when you're protecting yourself, your peace, your family, your children, your job, your finances, your home, your money, your credit, your property. You're not doing too much. And don't you ever allow nobody, man, woman, family, job, no, don't you ever allow anyone to trick you into thinking that somehow or another you're doing too much. Sis, you ain't doing too much. You're doing just enough. And you keep on your healing journey. Real Talk with Tasha Bailey. You know, we're doing that book. And I'll be back with a new episode this tonight, actually. But I just wanted to come live and just share with you this and how this conversation and this coming from a black man then only perpetuates the stereotype about black women. And then black women then don't trust black men because of this stupidity that came out of his mouth. All right, we're gonna bed that. So sis, keep growing, keep doing you, and don't you allow nobody with their own wounds and their own trauma to pass it on to you. You're doing good, baby girl. You're doing good, sis. You're doing good, friend. You're doing great, sir. You're doing exactly what you should be doing by becoming a better person. Until next time, thank you for coming into the room, and God bless.